Simi Valley High basketball player Haley Madsen landed in the hospital with E. coli 3 years ago. A nightmare of events followed, and Madsen was even in a coma for 3 weeks. Well, thankfully she did recover, but her memory included only her immediate family. She had to relearn how to walk, talk, and hoop again. Jill Painter Lopez has more on her incredible determination.
Everything that's happened to me made me who I am. And I love life right now, so, I mean, everyone goes through stuff.
Haley Madsen faced a bigger obstacle. In 2019, she and her mom Shannon were both hospitalized with E. coli. While Shannon was recovering, Haley became sicker and sicker because of a horrible reaction to a medication. She started to have seizures and then went into a coma for 21 days.
My dad was hearing all that stuff like, you can unplug her whenever you want. He's like, no, I'm not doing that.
I didn't know that she was in a coma. I first learned of it when I was released a couple weeks later.
I had to relearn how to walk, which was the worst thing. I hated it. They would put me on my feet and they would hold on to me and they're like, okay, take a step, and I couldn't for a long time. It took me about 5 days to be able to take one step. And then after that, I was like determined. I was like, okay, I know I can take that one step, so let's just keep taking more.
She was just so adamant that she was going to do things again. She was going to, walk again. She was, dribbling on the CHLA and in the room.
For the physical therapy, I went to my CrossFit coach. He had me on my knees and my arms, like crawling. He's like, we're gonna reteach you everything right now. In 3 weeks, he had me lifting weights. He had taught me how to run, which was crazy.
The power of prayer from our family, friends, community members that we didn't even know, strangers all over the U.S. were praying for Haley, and the power of prayer was answered.
Coming out of the coma, having to relearn everything, how much did being an athlete help you get out of that and relearn how to do things?
Well, since I remembered I played basketball, I was like, I'm determined to play. Like, thinking I still could. I was in my hospital laying there thinking I could be a star athlete still.
But it was your goal to play basketball again?
Yeah, it was my goal. But once I hit senior year, I was like, I'm playing. Like, I'm sorry, I can't watch anymore. Like, I have to. And I wanted to play with my sister really badly. And she's like, there's no way you're gonna play with me. Like, you can't senior year. And I'm like, no, I can. And so I went in, falling so much on that floor. Like, running, I'd fall over myself. I'm like, oh, I just laugh it off. And then, so I practiced for almost like 3 weeks. And then all of a sudden we had our first game. And I'm like, okay. I fell during that game. I tripped over myself, but I kept going. I was like, I'm just gonna get up and keep going, see what happens.
To go what she's gone through, and people have asked me this question 100 times. How do you classify her? I classify her as a warrior, a person who's gone through hell and high water and has made it back. And it's finished her senior year playing what she's most passionate about, which is basketball.
So you ended up graduating.
I graduated.
When you would normally have graduated, right?
Yeah, that's why I really wanted to go to school. I wanted to be normal, which in my head I thought normal was driving, like kids my age were driving, they're like going to parties, all this, and I'm over here sitting in my room with seizures. I'm like, I just want to be normal. That's what I thought normal was my life. Right now I feel normal, which is, I still have epilepsy, but I played basketball in my senior year. Like, I feel pretty good about that.
Unbelievable. In the fall, Haley will be going to Cal Lutheran on an academic scholarship after getting a 4.0 GPA this year.